apaixonados por criar. Essa força natural que pulsa dentro de nós, que move, que inspira, que faz a gente respirar. Onde tudo se torna possível, onde a imaginação dança com a criação, nascem artes que transcendem o ordinário. Por isso hoje celebramos nós, pessoas apaixonadas por criar, que acrescentam cor no preto e branco, que dão vida ao inanimado, que preenchem com alma o vazio, que fazem a magia do mundo acontecer. E que nesse instante, onde a paixão pela criação é viva, você e eu possamos entender que nosso processo criativo é uma declaração de amor à arte. UNHIDE School. Viva sua carreira com paixão.
Fala, galera da UNHIDE. E aí, pessoal do YouTube, galera conectada no LinkedIn, pessoal que tá chegando pelo Instagram, vamos ver aí. Galera que tá na segunda tela, de repente uma voz começou a falar no seu ouvido. Chegamos para bater nossos bate-papos de terça-feira, onde a gente sempre convida convidados extremamente interessantes que, acima de tudo, acima de ser interessante para vocês, é interessante para mim também. São conversas muito interessantes que eu tenho com pessoas que eu gosto ou que eu gostaria de conversar, que normalmente na vida não permite a gente conversar com tanta calma. Esse convidado, ele é fotógrafo, ele trabalha com Photoshop, ele é programador, o cara programa também. É uma skill set rara, diferente. Não é como normalmente a gente vê, né? Geralmente programação e arte não se mistura, mas esse cara mistura os dois e é muito interessante. Eu vou chamar aqui ele já. Antes eu queria falar que o Mário é do México e como o meu espanhol é ridículo, a gente vai falar em inglês. Então, mais uma vez, uma live em inglês, bom para vocês treinarem o ouvido, ouvir dois latinos batendo papo e botando a resenha em dia em inglês, mas são essas oportunidades diferentes que a gente traz aqui para vocês. Também não dá para falar só com brasileiro, né? Fala aí, Felipe Melo. Chegamos, estamos aí. Vou trazer aqui então o Mário. A galera tá chegando aí. Fala aí, Mário.
Fala, galera. Tudo
Fala,
bem?
galera. How's it going, man? Like, it's like you mentioned, it's been like centuries since we don't have a chat.
Yeah, and it's crazy because right now seeing you and hearing you is like I never stop seeing you. Like I feel it was yesterday, you know.
Well, I have less hair, and I feel a few pounds more fatter, but other than that, man, it's pretty much the same thing, and just different. Now we have other things to talk about. We have AI, we have real time. Back in the days, it was just Photoshop and the plugins you're coding for Photoshop and the compositions. But now, like, feels like a storm came and changed.
Bro, so much information. Right?
I want to know from you, because you were coding plugins to Photoshop like 5 years ago. I'm wondering, like, what are you doing now? What's your main what it takes most of your days?
Well, like most of my days, I wake up and I sleep coding. Like every day I am coding. Every time when I go out and go to movies or get a dinner, or I don't know, even though if I go to some vacations and everything, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna code this. Somehow it changed my way of perceiving life. And now, man, it's like logic for me is so much fun, and math became something really fun to play with. I don't consider myself like really good on math or programming, but I am very passionate about it. I enjoy it so much, like finding a solution for any problem that comes to myself. So I apply this into my life. So somehow it helps me personally, like emotionally as well. It's crazy.
And I knew you from years ago doing composites, doing digital art,
Yeah, I mean,
mixing art with a little bit of coding back in the day with your Glow add-ons to Photoshop. But since then, like, what happened to that? Are you still coding your softwares?
yeah, actually, everything evolved really cool because I've been digging a lot in research, and also I'm learning faster than any other year. Now with ChatGPT, instead of using ChatGPT to code for me, I use ChatGPT to teach me to code.
Wow.
Looking in Google for courses, or I don't know, for answers to any solution. I ask ChatGPT to teach me, to show me why it works, why it doesn't work. So I learn, like, I don't know, 10 times faster maybe. So yeah, it's
It's the coders in Life Farm, they love it. They love using AI to build scripts, even in CG when you want to do scripts for Blender. It's amazing. It's really powerful for us. Well, it's powerful for people that don't know how to code, but to people that know how to code, to use GPT and mix all that in the artistic process, it's really powerful. It's how the big ones do, right?
yeah, I mean, it's a really powerful tool because it gives you real-time feedback, and you don't have to wait for emotional answers on forums or something like that. I don't know, if you go to Stack Overflow, which is like the main forum of searching for programming issues, you don't have, like, I know, 100 answers, and you will try any of them to find the right one. So what it does with AI, with ChatGPT, is like it helps you to have different answers and really objective answers, like really, really, really good. And I have learned so much about um, different software structures and everything thanks to that, because it, one thing is to have technology like this one, and the other one is to know how to ask for an answer. I mean, the good answer is going to be in the good question, the right question.
What is the right question, Mario?
Like having exactly, like having the what do you really want. If you don't know what you want, you will know what to ask, right?
Yeah, imagine having a tool that you can make anything, and then what do you want to do?
It's everything.
That's the
Like,
most interesting thing, right? How you fill the blanks. And
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like it's actually it's an artistic journey as well. Like coding is not only logic, but it's using like creativity to solve a problem. Because with art, you are solving a problem, right? When you have a commission from a client, you are solving that client's work, which is materializing their vision, right? Artistically, like visually. And with coding, is the same. You have a problem, you need a solution. But trying different solutions is which is really fun for me to do, right? So I could make the AI to do things for myself, but if I do that like that, I won't understand it. So I rather to understand it, and so that way I can manipulate it more, and I can evolve that in any way that I want. So for me, AI right now is an assistant, not someone to solve problems, but someone to help me to understand a problem faster. You know?
I know that some people like AI, other people don't like AI. Some companies work with AI, very few don't. I think most of the companies are using AI already. I know about companies though. That's recently. I knew a company that they're most illustrators, but they use AI as a system. They have a general system of different AIs, and they streamline with the illustrators a volume of output that you would never be able to do it without it.
Yeah.
And that got me wondering, because that's gonna happen more and more. You're gonna have more competition. You're gonna have more companies not only using Midjourney, ComfyUI, you name it, but you have companies coding pipelines using those APIs, probably ComfyUI, and streamlining an amount of output that you'll never be able to compete.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I personally, I think it's a huge leap for humanity, like artistically. You know, I will share with this because I have talked about AI with a lot of friends, and it's crazy when you are used to do things manually and enjoy the process, of failing, and somehow.
There's a lot of failing in AI as well.
No,
You
there's
fail
a lot.
all the time before you get
Bro,
something
there's a
cool.
lot because you don't have a lot of control. You have to try until you get something you like, right? You don't have that. I mean, you can tell the AI, okay, give me the light from this side, give me the light from this side, colors here, colors there. But it will always be the AI perception, the AI materializing its imagination, right? Even though if it is close what you wanted, or if it is better, because personally I think sometimes it's like crazy good the things that generative AI comes with. I like it. I consume AI. If I'm real, I consume AI. I like it. But I don't use it myself because I like the process. For example, if I want to do, let's say, a concept, right, for I don't know, a character or something like that, I like the process of sketching, of painting on everything, because I enjoy that process. If I have to do it for someone and I'm gonna receive money, okay, that is shortening the process, and I can be more productive in that way. But if it is something that I enjoy, what is the case of using something to do it for myself? It is like, okay, I enjoy drinking water. I am gonna make the AI to drink water for me. So where is the enjoying of
Yeah, that analogy of the chess player, right? Like, okay, like they prove machines can play chess much better years ago. People still play chess, and you don't want to watch a championship of AIs playing chess. That's not entertaining.
Yeah.
You want to see people failing. Like, people want to see people, right? Like, we don't want to see machines, but people with machines. It's a very interesting combination.
It is, man. We live in we live in the future now. This is crazy. If you talk about this 30 years ago or 20 years ago with someone, it's like, what? That's science fiction,
I thought I would be, getting retired before something so radical happened, and it is. I mean, is changing the market, is changing the demand, is changing how things are done, especially in pre-production, but also in large scale as well. It's changing rapidly.
It's heavy. It's crazy, man. I've talked with a lot of artists, and it's it's crazy because somehow we have to adapt, right? It's There's no other way. We need to adapt to this change, to this digital revolution, because it is like a revolution. It is something different that is happening so fast that sometimes we cannot handle it. And it's like there's so many now generative AIs out there, and so many good, like Crea.ai, that it is now generative AI in real time, which is what the fuck. It's crazy how fast it does it. And it's the thing is that it is addictive. It gives you dopamine, and it's like, oh, I want more of this, I want more of this. And you then spend 2 hours like prompting, like, oh, I'm gonna try it.
Which one do you like? Do you like the most?
I think Crea area, it's really good. Have you tried it?
A little bit. It do videos as well, right?
Yeah, I think they have this thing
can do
called
videos, yeah.
Flux or something like that. Yeah, but I like that
Um,
is instant feedback, right?
Create real time.
Yeah, Crea is real time.
That's pretty cool. That's
like
what I
real
like
time.
about Leonardo AI. Leonardo AI is real time. I really like that. I think the experience of Mid Journey or even Comfy UI, it's kind of slow, right?
Yeah, you have to wait, and we live in an era of instant gratification. So if your mind is used to that, you want that, right? So,
but it's gonna happen. I think pretty soon you'll be able to see, like in Leonardo AI, you're typing or sliding, and you're seeing the changes.
bro,
on screen.
I do not doubt that we live in a damn simulation right now. That this could be like a real-time AI, like like everything is, your mind is right now, it's building the reality inside. I don't know what is the mind, but it is building the reality right now,
Yeah,
because
you
you're
just have
perceiving it.
128 gigs of
It's
pixels in your
bro,
eyes, and then everything
imagine
else is AI generated. It's just
you have like ray
flattering.
tracing, motion blur, like everything in this render engine inside your brain, and it's real time.
Man, this conversation is gonna go deep because have you seen computers that use neurons as the cells of instead of a CPU or GPU?
Neurons, like real
They're
neurons.
using neurons and organic,
What?
organic, not like from a person, but you grew in the lab, let's say a little brain, okay, and that's your CPU.
What?
And because like they say that DNA can, if it was unravel, if you could like unroll the
Yeah.
DNA from here to the end of the solar system, you'll be pretty much that big, you know what I mean?
What?
Exactly. And the information you can carry in a DNA, it's much bigger than a hard drive or anything else. So that's like what scientists are experimenting on, using organic computers. But also on the other side, you have the Google computer or the Chinese supercomputers using nuclear fusion to energize this like unbelievably heavyweight computer that thinks in a different way, right? Because quantum computers, they can run like multiple simulations at the same time instead of just one.
Yeah.
So imagine like that amount of force with AI. I think you wouldn't have a data cap, like, oh, you can't do this, too heavy. You don't have that. You don't need to render the whole thing. You'll be able to just prompt the influence, and then it would just grow by itself.
It's man, it's like I have like my brain is exploding because I've been learning
It's
a lot.
4:27.
Bro,
That's
it's
the
what
about the
27.
time of the day.
It's crazy. I've been learning about parallel processing. Do you know what is that, right?
I'm ignorant about
Okay.
coding. Okay,
Para-
I only read images. I even like listen to audiobooks. So like coding for me is like, I'm a stupid person, you know.
No, but what you said actually is parallel processing. So parallel processing, what it is that instead of just processing one thing at a time, you process in parallel, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah blah blah. So you have a lot of things. So what
Possibilities.
so what the GPU does is like it processes not only 1, 2, or 3, depends of the amount of cores that the GPU has, is the amount of processes that they will do at once. And you're talking about that if you have, let's say, for example, a 3010 Ti GPU from NVIDIA, you have like 30, no, it's like 30, I think it's 30,000 billion process per second. So imagine doing that in your brain. It's crazy. You can only process one thing at a time. There's no multitasking. That doesn't exist. That is bullshit. Not even women can do that. It's our brain. The brain only can process one thing. We have only one core. Only one core.
You have mixed feelings, right? When you feel like in multiple ways, you feel like, I don't know. Don't you think that's a possibility that we process many things at once emotionally?
No.
But logically, maybe just one?
No, what happens is like you are perceiving a lot of things. You have sensors inside your body, right? You have a lot of sensors. You have the mind, everything. But if you want to process things at once, like 2 things at once, okay, if I tell you, do a math like 2 plus 2 and 4 plus 4 at the same time in your brain, you cannot do it.
It's linear.
It's linear, exactly. So it is synchronous. You cannot do it like asynchronous, like everything at once, like GPU does. So that's why it is getting really, really, really powerful, because when the processing goes, it bubbles more than the brain, it's gonna be tough. Right now, I mean, computers can think faster than us. Now the processors math faster than us. So it's crazy what it's gonna be in the future. In 5, 10 years, it's gonna be madness.
I don't know what's gonna be next year, man. In 2
Yeah.
years.
Bro,
And,
it's been months.
Don't you feel that it's like AI, GPUs? GPU was like a 10 years ago thing, right? People, GPU, blah blah blah. Today, NVIDIA is like bigger than Apple.
Yeah.
And then GPUs, AI, crypto, real time, and VR. I feel like the forces are like
the
combining.
That is a
to
metaverse.
something that that you see already companies announcing, right? Like Apple is doing that thing. I know that Unreal is gonna do that thing, and you're gonna have all these other companies trying to create a little playable universe online. And I think there's gonna be many. I don't think there's gonna be just one. There'll be many, like different games. You can just go here and there. This is the land of PlayStation. You can live there all your life.
You can buy some skins in there.
And then you go to, like I'm playing in an MMO game. It's from Korea, and you can easily spend like half of your life there easily. Half of your life, like just
Which
living from 20 to 50. You can only do that. It's an MMO game. It's kind of like New World, but it's called Throne and Liberty.
Throne and Liberty?
Throne and Liberty, like Game of Thrones, but Throne and Liberty. It's a very interesting game. It's from Amazon. Well, it's actually Amazon is just a distributor, but it's a publisher. It's from Korea. It's a Korean
It's an
studio.
open world?
It's open. Well, it's very big and it's expanding. But I'm playing that, man, and you could easily spend like you could be fishing there.
Really?
You could be like, all the things you do in MMO. You could be cooking and doing all that, and
it's like I see it's like Diablo. It's
kinda, yeah, kinda, but bigger, and and yeah, it's an open world, I think. And also,
Holy shit!
if
There's a
you
lot of
think
people.
about
Wow.
the price of the sword or the shield, people are paying like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, like it's nothing. They somebody mentioned to me that in Korea people work so they can have the money to play,
Wow, bro!
and playing is just a huge part of the culture. So they work to play. Imagine when those two things merge. So you like working but feels like playing, or playing and it feels like work.
What, bro? It's like, I mean, I love it. I always see life that as a video game. I like that everything is you're gaining experience, earning experience. Like you have a new skills, and you are developing some skills in your life, like discipline. I don't know, things. Like for example, if you do exercise, you are training your strength, and you are evolving your skills and everything. So it's a video game. So when it comes into the virtual world, like inside it, because it's crazy, man. I mean, I'm watching right now a YouTube video of that video game, and it's crazy good. You can convert yourself into an animal as well, and you can play with other people and do quests with other people online, which is really cool, right?
Yeah, man. I think video games, especially back in the days, it was so hard that there are researches about people that play video games since childhood. They become something like 30% more active or proactive, or your reflexes get enhanced, your perception
Yeah,
multiplies because you're paying attention to the music and to the mechanics, and you have to memorize things. Sometimes you have to learn a different language. Games are like a IQ test, like
they are.
constantly,
Yeah.
like creating new synapses on your brain, and communicating those different thoughts with like a unique form of art, because you're blending so many things in there, and coding is a major part in everything, right?
I mean, everything is code, man. Everything is programming. If you see it, you have programs in your mind, or your beliefs. They are actually code. You have a conditional like, oh, if my friend does that, I will feel this. So that's a program. That's a conscious program, and you can reprogram that once that you understand that you are conscious of about that program. But you cannot change something that is not conscious, right? So you can reescribe your own code, which is your personality. I don't know, Mario, it's a program that I programmed long time ago subconsciously. And Milton is a program as well. But you can reprogram that whenever you want, but you have to do it consciously. Like
You need a lot of power in the mind to be able to change yourself, though, because it's a little bit of you and it's a little bit of everything else. I feel that when I watch my kids, because they, since the beginning, they are like learning just one thing at a time, and then you start connecting those things and it becomes like a huge chaos. But then there's a lot of the outside influence as well, right? Not only the inside of your house, but the whole world influences your choices and your perception. And I think that's why they say there's a different world for everybody. For everybody's a different thing. But about code, though, um, what do you like to code? What is the thing you like to code the most? Is it softwares or solutions, scripts for new add-ons and things?
actually, that's a good question, but I think when I think everything, when I am outside and I see something related to code, and if I see some line of code in some image or something, like I get excited. Somehow the feeling of grading, like like these functions and everything, it gets me excited a lot. But what I'm digging right now too much is optimizing and learning about GPU acceleration. So right now, remember 5 years ago, I started doing plugins for Photoshop, and I have now 2 plugins, and I'm gonna release some more probably this year. I don't know if I can finish, but the thing is that I'm building now standalone software that is very powerful. Like, my goal is to give tools to the industry, to the VFX industry, to the animator industry, to the video games artists, to have more tools to get fun with it, to have fun with it, And I have spent 4 years now building software that it's GPU accelerated. It's all real time and experience. I have tested so many softwares in image processing, and I can tell you this is so light and it's so much fun to do, because I am building it from an artistic perspective, not only like a programmer, but as an artist, So I'm building things for myself, and I am just sharing with the world. I haven't shared about this because, ideas is like, I know no one knows what someone is working in the background, but soon.
What is the problem you're trying to solve? Is it post-production?
No,
still,
actually, I'm not
videos?
I'm not trying to solve any problem. I'm just playing around with code and having fun, man. It's like when you said you don't know if you're playing or working. I feel like that. I just wake up and play with code. I feel like I'm a kid, like your kids playing with toys. I just sit in the computer and I play with code, and I find this so it's, I don't know, I get really excited about this. Like, search something new and learn something new, like new way to optimize this, or like find a solution of a problem that I had. It's very fun to do, man. It's like playing video games for me, Eventually, I would like to build video games, because that's my goal as well. But now,
Awesome.
right now, I'm just building tools for me. I stopped doing art a lot, like constantly. I still doing it. Actually, I done a really cool ad campaigns for clients, and they are really cool. And I still enjoy doing compositing and photo manipulation and editing and all that stuff, all retouching, high end. I really like that. I'm still doing it. So that's what I'm building more tools, because when I use a software, I feel limited. Now, I learned to use the software because I now understand at a pixel level how a software renders everything, how the UI works, what is limiting and everything. So now I understood that, and I am building my own software. I am not limited anymore of Photoshop, of After Effects, of DaVinci. I am not limited anymore, because now I understand that software, how it works at the pixel level, how it communicates with the GPU, how it tells, oh, this pixel put it white, and this one cyan, and this one. And I understand everything. And when you understand the GPU architecture, it's crazy how you can optimize things, man. And we live in an era that we can build so much software, really good software. Like, for example, Nuke and that kind of software, bro, that can be optimized so fucking much with new technologies, with GPU acceleration, and everything is fucking crazy, man. But the thing is that you have to, write that software from scratch, because, bro, I have to do that with my plugins, because when I try to write code in my software that was old code, I was like, what the fuck, this is horrible code. Like, it is not optimized, the logic is horrible, you are repeating redundant things, have.
But code is changing all the time, right?
It's live.
That's why,
it's something live.
You
It's
have
alive.
Photoshop changing the code, you have other softwares changing the code, and then new bugs comes in. And so, wait a minute, let me understand. So you're coding a new software
Yeah.
for fun that can do, let's say, what Unreal can do, or the, like, just give me a glimpse to understand what kind of pyramid you're building.
Okay, the software is gonna be for real-time VFX, for
Awesome.
2D and 3D VFX, and which is amazing is that you are playing like the timeline in this software, and you can change things on the fly. Like you don't have to wait to render. That's my goal, right? Even though if you sacrifice somehow in the resolution or something, you are playing around with the real time, and that experience is what makes the software really fun to do, because you don't have to wait. You can see real time changes, right? So my goal here is I started first of all because I wanted to create a lens flare program, you know.
I remember I used it.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that. So that one that I showed you, that evolved like so much, man. So much.
If you want to share screen at any time, feel free.
Bro, I could, but I don't know. I don't know.
But I like the conversation too. I think it's a cool format. My daughter is screaming in the background.
That's
But-
alright, bro.
It's normal. But so you're coding a post-production VFX real-time software
Yeah,
that
exactly.
takes, let's say, EXR renders or any renders, and then you manipulate that, you change that on the fly.
Well, that's a whole topic, because like manipulating data from like EXR or something like that, it's you have a lot of information on that, and you can do it. I have another software that you will be able to do color grading in real time as well. So at the same time, I'm building another software as well. But with this one, you will be able also to build VFX for Unity or Unreal Engine. You know, like they have their shader node graph, which you can use to build VFX. But the experience of building this VFX in my software, it's meant to be faster, more fun, and you have like more creativity. Like you are not limited with settings. You can build more things, and the good thing is that everything that I think that I would like to have in a software, I just put it in it, right? I don't have to wait for a software to have an update. So I update my software the way that I want it. Oh, I want particles, I will put particles. I want this to be things, yeah, I put this. So that's a good thing. It's like,
Is it 2D manipulation or 3D manipulation?
both. Right now it's 2D, but I'm building like a 3D scene, so you can have let's say if you have a Blender scene, you can import your camera or something like that, so you have already tracked everything. So you import your footage, import your camera, and you use the information of the camera or nulls or everything, so you can use that to build the scene, right? The 3D scene, and then you can export that in EXR, in PNG, JPEG, or whatever you want that works better for your project. So the thing is that I don't want to do anything. I just playing around and creating something that is fun for me to play with, you know? And I'm gonna share that with the world eventually. So
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah.
You know that is something that could easily become a product, right? You know that. You know that you're doing something for fun that maybe one day can sell to other people. can
yeah, I
have a
mean
value to other
that's the
people.
goal. That my goal is to put my software into an industry, like professional industry. I want people to know about my software and use it. For example, when you guys when I got the news that you guys got a studio license for Lyric, I was like, bro, I really got really excited, like really excited, you know, because knowing that big studios, they are using my software, it for me is like, bro, it's good software. it's good software and it's fun to do, and it is solving problems that I mean it's for me more than monetary, like the income and everything. Knowing that big people, like big artists, use my software feels really good, like very grateful. It's
And in the beginning was mostly in Photoshop, but now as you explaining, it feels like it's gonna be kind of like the experience that Nuke is now doing. You have, let's say, a scene from Unreal, and then you open in Nuke and you have 3D control over it. I think, is it After Effects not doing anything like this, but maybe with Element 3D?
I think no, actually After Effects already have that. They have this new extension GVL, I think, .gvl, where you can import 3D objects into After Effects, and you can use
it's
the
not
lighting.
like a 3D scene, right? It's not.
I don't know. I haven't used it at all. I've been seeing it in YouTube, but I haven't used it myself. I have used Element 3D, which is really good, and it uses ray tracing, which is good. But I don't know if GVL uses ray tracing as well.
I see. Sorry, I see softwares connecting with Unreal a lot, but also I see Unreal doing things like color wheels from DaVinci in the software. I think it's gonna be crazy in the next years, because I think softwares like Unreal, or even, well, let's say Unreal, it's gonna get so big and do so many things and be so powerful that you might not need other softwares. And I think it's kind of like what you're explaining, right? A software that can real time do a lot of things, combining with CG, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to focus only on one thing, not like a lot, because if you try to eat all the industry, if you try to eat all the cake, it won't fit, you know. So just focus on one thing, and it's all. For example, my software on Eric, it has been always focused on create like outstanding glows, you know, like the best glows out there, right? So right now it's positioned at the top of glow generation in Photoshop. You know, instead of doing it manually, you use Oniric, and you have like change in fraction of a second. You have a new setting, you know, which is really good. And people who is using, for example, Oniric, they cannot stop using it. Like if one day I say Oniric doesn't exist anymore, it's like, oh, bro, I use it every day in my stuff. So I like that. I like that people have fun with my software the same way I have fun creating it.
And I remember a software for Photoshop. I don't know if it was you remember me. There was a software plugin for Photoshop that was very expensive. It was something like $1,000, just a straight on license. But then you would get not even optical flares. You get like volumetric effects, a little like Boris. You remember Boris?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's still a thing. Boris. I have to say, man, Boris plugin Photoshop. I think Boris kind of sucks. And it's $1,000 plugin.
1,000?
And 1,000. And I remember back in the day, I don't know these days, let's say purchase by now. Well, now they have a monthly subscription for After Effects. It's $80 a month, and it was like $107 a month. So a full year, think about it. It's like $1,200. It's very expensive for a plugin, and it's not even that good. But it can do things that only this plugin can do, like faking volumetrics, or faking different kinds of flares or glows, like stars or anything. So you think about, instead of doing many things, right, just do something very good. But in the case of this software, it's kind of dated. The effects are very dated. I don't know these days, maybe they got better. Back in the day, it was like, come on, like it's not worth. But it was the only one, so
Yeah, I remember that you. Yeah, that you told me a long time ago. Yeah, when we finish the live stream, I will show you what I've been working on. Because
why don't you show me now? Oh, you can show.
Bro,
It's NDA.
it's NDA, bro. It's like if I do it, I know there's people watching me. I know there's a lot of people watching me what I'm doing it because they want to copy things. They want to know what I'm doing because I'm doing big things and behind the scenes, right? So I cannot do it until it's released. I cannot do it.
That's fair. That's fair. I can only imagine. I mean, it's so crazy because I knew you as a digital artist that love to do some coding on the side, but now it feels like you're a coder that once in a while do some art.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, coding is like doing art as well. So like migrate pixels to code. So it's the same for me. I have the same fun. Actually, I think I enjoy more doing coding because when I try coding with my images, it's like, and when I do an image, it's like, oh, I would love to have this tool to do this image or something like that. So I built a new tool to help my image to become true, So I'm gonna release in a few days a new version of Lyric. It's gonna be really, really cool. You can do really cool stuff, and it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good because I listen a lot my community and what they want. The software has evolved a lot because I always listen what they want because it's for us, right?
It's the only way, right? It's the only way. I think you have to listen to what the people using are feeling about it.
Yeah.
So then you get a better experience for the user.
If you understand how people use your software, it's like, I mean, I've seen people using my software for things that I never imagined, and it's like, bro, this will be amazing to have as a future,
That's pretty cool, man. And that's that's not gonna be a plugin for Photoshop anymore. It's not gonna be an add-on to Nuke. It's gonna be its own thing.
It is like standalone stuff.
VFX standalone post-production software. Do you use any kind of machine learning already in your coding? Other than creating fixing stuff or creating scripts?
No, if I use machine learning, I will use it for masking, but I like more the way to use math for it, Machine learning is estimate of something, it is not always exact. It's an estimation of something, right? And with math, it's exact. Like you have exact values of what you want. And machine learning cannot do that. It's just an estimation based on some data, So it is a guess. Sometimes a really good guess, but it's still a guess.
Did you always like math though, or is this something you enjoy more?
Maybe no, I don't know. In high school, I used to like it, but not this way. Right now, when I'm with this now, I'm using a lot of trigonometrics and algebra, linear algebra, and like, I don't know, quadratic equations and everything. It's like, I never thought I'm gonna use this to have fun. Like in this way, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I think all the coders sound like lunatic to people. Like you say, I'm coding a solution for VFX, using some AI to code, or just coding for fun, and just try to create a solution to let the artist be free. And then you think this guy is smoking too much weed, and then 2 years later, the guy is like selling heaps, and you're like, oh, now I understand. Like he was building something special. But when you tell the idea, like if it's not somebody from the business, it's I mean, I'm trying to understand what you're building. Imagine two people that don't understand anything that we're doing. It feels like completely alien, especially because you're coding something that don't exist yet.
Well, I mean, always an idea. It's not a copy, but you're how to say it. You're inspired, you know, and it's different to be inspired than a copy, because I've seen people trying to copy my stuff, and like exactly, and it's I sometimes I get mad, but it's like it's okay if people is trying to copy because you are doing things good, right? So I always try to inspire and get the best of all the software that I like and try to make it better. You know, like maybe this could be faster, maybe this could be have this feature and something like that. So I try to mix everything. I remember back in the days with optical flares, remember, and I'm still using optical flares as
We
well.
still use it.
Yeah,
Optical flare
I
is
still
probably
using
the
it.
best from Andrew Kramer Video Copilot,
And it's
the
gonna be
standalone plugin for lens flare. I don't know
yeah.
any other. There was the Red Giant as well, but optical flare was a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
mean-
these days, man, I think it's really nice to make lens flares these days with Unreal, though.
With
you-
Unreal.
Yeah, because
Really?
you can. Well, yeah. I mean, for your Unreal scene, right? Because you can control the blades just like in Red Giant or Video Copilot, but you can control it individually, and it's really simulating.
Like physically
It-
based?
Well, yes and no, right? Because in the end of the day, it's just faking it. You're just faking blades,
Yeah, everything is fake.
On the perspective.
Real, yeah.
but it looks better for me than what you get in 2D, because that's 3D, right? If it's something is cutting the flare, it's gonna cut for real
Yeah.
in raw, and when you have that in 2D with optical flares and Red Giant, it's simulating, right? I think Unreal feels more real, even though it might be fake as hell. It's just they're just faking a real effect.
If you see it this way, everything is 2D. Nothing is 3D actually.
That's interesting.
3D doesn't exist because you're watching it in a 2D screen, right?
That's true.
That is called rasterization. So it becomes everything like 2D, like XY, and this pixel value like RGBA. You know, RGB and alpha.
Well, in Red Giant and optical flare, you have the blades kind of like scaling, right?
Mhm.
I feel that in Unreal, the blades are in the 3D space. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's
When
how
you
it feels
Can you show me?
right now.
I don't know if it takes too much time, you can see it other day. But
I can try, but let's keep the conversation. Then I open here.
yeah,
Let's see.
sure.
I wasn't ready for it, but it's Unreal. Let's see. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to open something and show you.
Because it's cool. I mean, I like Unreal what they are doing. They're building technology like this nanite technology,
Unreal.
and
Unreal is so
bro,
cool.
it's
I'm a fan.
now I understand how things render, like how do they process like polygons and everything. For me, trying to understand what they did with nanite, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy.
It's turning quads into triangles to make it like a rasterized version of
Yeah,
the
but
model.
it's so much
And
triangles in real
it's
time.
only rendering the triangles facing the camera. So if the
Yeah.
triangle is like you don't see it anymore, it's not rendering. And also the scale of the triangles are changing depending on the distance from the
distance,
lens. It sounds simple, but
it sounds simple, but bro, doing the algorithm to make it work like that, it's crazy. There's something called MIP mapping, which the textures in video games is the same. If they are close to you, the texture is loaded like high resolution. But if the texture is really far away, the texture is like you don't need to render this texture in this polygon, you know?
it's like the LOD of
Exactly, level of detail.
things.
Exactly,
Yeah.
LOG. So that is optimization, and more optimization algorithms come to the window every day, and it's crazy, man. I mean, I love that. I love that so much. Or like working with GPUs and processing and rendering and everything. That kind of stuff excites me so much, man. I never knew that it's going to be a thing for me. I always like it to do 3D and everything, but now I like to do like from coding base 3D and VFX, which is
That's
better
really
now.
cool, man. I feel that maybe in the near future we might be talking about a new game that we're gonna be coding together.
Bro, dude, definitely you're gonna be my beta tester number one if I do a video game sometime. For real, brother.
We are doing a few games now,
Bro,
yeah, and we have like 3 or 4 in the works. But man,
really?
so
In UNHIDE you're doing a video
yeah,
game? Or Lightform?
I don't know if it's live farm or hide anymore. It's
But we are doing
just
it.
we're making it. We're making
Bro,
it.
that's so cool.
We're doing one with Ares. We're doing another one with Mazzucchelli. We're doing another one with yeah. We're just taking different ideas and trying to invest a little bit in each one of them and see if we can pull it off. And
Bro,
it's
that's
a
amazing.
nice learning curve as well. I started learning Unreal since 2020 in the pandemic days,
Well, you have
and
a long time now.
yeah, and since then I don't want to go back to any other software. It's been my favorite.
Bro, I need to get into it. I just download
I think you're
Houdini,
gonna love it.
and it
Well, Houdini, man. If you think about the metaverse, it's probably gonna be Houdini. Even that Matrix from Unreal, right? Back in the day when they released the Matrix, the Matrix. I mean, that game experience, right? They use Unreal and all, show simulations in real time and very realistic New York City, even the apartments inside the
yeah, I
windows.
remember that. Yeah,
And that was a Houdini scene. That's I see
that was
many
Houdini
videos.
scene. Wow.
I see many videos now showing that that's a Houdini project disguised as Unreal project. Because to build all that that is it requires a lot of procedural uh, 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 computation,
Yeah.
and Unreal is not at that level yet. But combining Houdini with Unreal, I mean, having the power of creation of Houdini, but then the the fast rendering real time in Unreal, well, I think in the future will be an interesting competition between Unreal and other softwares, especially Houdini. I think Houdini is a good contender to Unreal. Other than that, I don't see Maya or even Blender
No,
being able
I
to
mean,
compete with
Blender is getting
Unreal.
really good, but
Blender is amazing.
Houdini is king. What it does, it's like, because Houdini, what you're doing actually is programming. You're the guy that made Houdini. Someone told me about it. The guy who made Houdini, he was like a DJ or something like that. He wanted to make a visual, like a
A
BJ,
DJ,
like a
a
BJ
VJ.
software.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
BJ
Oh,
software.
that's cool.
So they wanted to make some visuals for events. I think that's the story. I have to read it about it, but someone told me that, and then eventually side effects got it and evolved the software and everything. Now it's like king for things. If you see Houdini, everything is processed in the time, right? Like in real time, you have processing. You don't have a, I don't know, man. I like the way Houdini worked with nodes, because you have a lot of flexibility that other software doesn't have, right? You're
They
limited.
made something similar in Blender. It's called
The
the
node
no
graph.
the no graph. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, but man, yeah, I think the future is gonna be to the fast coders, because I think at some point they will all get to the same kind of conclusion, especially with AI. In a way, you can copy so easily from
Yeah,
others. I think
yeah,
it's gonna be like a blah, like each idea from each software you're gonna see in the other very quickly.
yeah. And we don't know what is being developed behind the scenes. You know,
We don't know.
we don't know. Like,
We don't know, and I think everybody wants the same thing. I think probably Apple wants it, Nvidia wants it,
I mean, for
Unreal,
example, for me, like right now, the AI
Google.
race, I don't like that. I'm not in that race. I'm not in it. I like another things, you know, because you cannot compete with something that I don't even want to compete. You know, I don't. My objective is not to compete with someone.
But there's no way we can compete, like a war between the giants. We just
No,
watching it.
you could, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be exhausting. It's gonna be it's not gonna be cheap, you know, because bro, for AI you need processing power. You have thousands of GPUs to train your AI models. Or
And
you would use the ones that they are open source, right? But bro, you need a lot of processing power to train AI.
yeah, exactly. You almost need a nuclear level of
Like,
energy source.
yes,
You're not
exactly.
not gonna get it from the standard sources, and also the internet and the data transfer. It feels like it's a very a thin connection between us and the power sources. But
Yeah.
imagine when that streamline gets easier and I feel that the future, man, we're not gonna have any computers. The computers will be somewhere else. They'll be so powerful, just gonna be paying a monthly subscription.
Wow.
Uh,
I don't
I don't
doubt it.
see us buying like expensive computers. I think computers are gonna be like like Uber in the future. You know, you're gonna have like a subscription for an amazing computer, and if you want it faster, you just pay more, or whatever. If you use more, you pay more.
I mean, that is a cloud. Right now, for example, my server for my platform, even though with UNHIDE and all the websites, you're paying for power. You're
Exactly.
paying for storage, right? If you want more, you will pay more. So if you want a server that is fast, you need to pay more, and they will give you. They have. There's no something like. Sorry about the camera. It's getting hot. So
No worries.
even though there's no cloud, there doesn't exist a cloud like that. It's just a storage in somewhere, you know, with a lot of really good GPU or CPU process, and they process your information and send data back and forth to your server. And it's all about that. The closer the server to your place, it's gonna be faster for you to deploy things and people
Yeah,
to
think
share.
about people playing Xbox games on the cloud. You can access from any TV or any cheap device, but
That's a feature. I totally.
it's still like kind of laggy, but it's almost there, man. You just need
Yeah,
a better internet, and then the computers on the other side. Who cares? And you're just renting.
exactly. I
And
mean, bro, like 20 years ago, remember how it was at the internet? No, like probably when the internet wasn't a thing.
you remember downloading images line by line, and then you're like waiting to save, and you need to wait until the end. And
Bro,
sometimes you
like
just took a print screen because it was
holy
faster.
shit, man. Yeah.
It's
But
crazy. Like it feels like we've seen the before and after of internet, right?
exactly.
And the softwares. And now I don't know what's gonna be, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to watch it grow from having no computer to full-on AI robots walking on the streets
And it,
before
bro,
we die. Before we die, no. Like I mean, I wouldn't give it like 10 years. Maybe not for everybody, not anywhere, but in New York, you're gonna see more and more robots walking the
bro,
street.
if you see it this way, you already have cars like automatic cars. They are robots.
True.
they drive you to from
Mechanic
one place to
bodies
another.
and the software
Exactly.
brain.
So once they have legs, because they have to be bipeds to be like humans, but they are already robots.
And people are like, oh, we're never gonna see this.
Oh no.
And then you kind of need to prepare the people with movies and stuff so people can get ready for what's coming.
Yeah.
And then out of a sudden, Nvidia and Elon Musk launching AI robots. And then you're like, come on, like, I don't believe it. It's not gonna be real. And then a year later, it's more real. And now it looks like a human. And now it talks to you. And then you're gonna see like teenagers dating robots.
Bro,
and
you say
they're
it
gonna
like a
like the
joke.
robots much better. They're gonna be like, I hate humans. I'm pro AI and machines.
Bro, the thing is that robots has something that we humans robots doesn't have something that we humans have, which is emotions. And the problem is that, bro, have you already finished Arcane?
No, I need to watch the last episode.
Dude. Okay.
But I
won't
watch
spoil
it
anything.
all. I just need to watch the last episode. But you see, like, I feel the story is very interesting, right? Because it's a little bit mechanical, it's a little bit spiritual, and the arcane itself is like the energy, right? And how do you
Exactly.
manipulate
you-
that energy? And it's kind of like the same talk about in Star Wars and other
The
other
Force, yeah.
franchises, right? The Force. You're trying to manipulate that crazy, chaotic energy of creation, and you're trying to manipulate that as a wizard would do. And and the maths are the same, right? Have you thought about that? If you're trying to simulate reality like you have in Unreal, you need to follow the same formulas and the same algebra and the same math formulas as you have in nature. You need to replicate the same logics so it looks the same.
Yeah.
And then once you do it, and the logics are the same, you have the same thing.
There are
So
rules.
it makes you wonder, right? So there is a code, and you can crack it down and make a copy of it if you want it eventually. It's still like digital. You could like copy an environment to a 3D scene, but eventually,
Bro, it's like we understand how reality works in a way, and we can replicate it. But the thing is that we are building the technology to make it to duplicate it, to duplicate this reality. We only need the technology to duplicate it because we already know how math works, and reality itself is just pure math. Like the universe is pure math. So if you understand math, you understand the universe, and you understand everything. What blinds you, I mean, what I like about what I want to say about Arcane is that there's a phrase, a quote that says that we are blinded by our emotions. Like the problem is the chaos of the emotions and between the logic and the emotions, right? So if we take out the emotions from the equation, we can think logically and we can decide like objectively, and we won't have any struggles in life. Emotions are cool because it is what makes us humans, right? Even though the mistakes are what makes us humans. But man, if you try to observe yourself, you will see that your emotions are the thing that blind you to decide objectively what is the best option for you at certain moment. And that's what I like about
deep.
Arcane.
This is a
story.
deep chat. I feel like I'm in a Joe Rogan podcast at the moment. I just need the bomb hit.
yeah, it feels the same.
because we're talking about code. We start talking about coding and art and mixing those things, And now we're talking about the simulation and the construct. And understanding that when you make your algebra, linear algebra, right? Things start to make sense, and you're like manipulating those rules to your advantage. In this case, to create amazing glows or effects or lens flare or changing the atmosphere the way it should change. When the sun is lower, things are warmer. When it's higher, everything is colder. Why is that? Like understanding those physics rules to reproduce it in a 3D environment. I think if you're really good 3D artist, you need to go deeper and go a little bit into physics, a little bit into math.
You have
so
to
it all
understand
makes
reality.
sense.
It's about our observation, right? Like if you observe,
Otherwise you're just like using the software. You're not really like extending the possibilities of the software, editing the software. You're just
Yeah.
using somebody else's software. But in your case, you're building your own just for fun. And now it's just VFX, but imagine in the future, you're gonna get ambitious.
bro, it is getting bigger every time, and the community that helped me to grow with my software is getting bigger, and they always support myself. I understand all the sides of let's say of a company that marketing and support and everything, because I learned so much about optimization in a way that I don't have to do a lot of support to people, because if you have a really good built software from the beginning before releasing it, you don't need to fix any bug. You only just update things, like very easy, right? But the thing is, if you release something before testing it a lot, you won't understand if it will work or not. And it's like that. It's observing what is happening in reality, what is happening here, and what people is using, and what do you like. I think the most important thing is what do you like, and that's all.
That's the question. I mean, we're searching for the question in the beginning. What's the right question, right? It's You need to
Exactly.
find something you like and do it the most of it, take the most of it while it lasts, because you might like something else after you explore what you like. And it often changes, right? Think
Often
about
changes.
yourself. Like if you can tell, like you're often changing. And it feels like it's a need for you to change, right? I feel the same way. Not for coding though. I mentioned to Combat, I said I'm never gonna line a code in my life. Maybe in the next life, but this life, that's not for me. But who knows? Like let's say like 20 years from now, and like writing a line of code, or just like talking to the computer and creating lines of code without feeling like I'm creating lines of code,
Yeah, I mean, eventually you don't feel you're coding, you just have fun with it. And it's like the things that it is get addictive, or what you like about this, is that your brain understand that when you solve a problem, you have dopamine, you have this serotonin in your brain, right? So with programming, it's like that. You want to get from here to here, and if you try different things and you train your brain to fail forward, you never quit. You never quit. You train yourself to only just keep on going, bro. If I could tell you how many times I want to quit a day, it's crazy, man. Every day I want to quit. It's like, fuck it, this is so much, man.
I always wanted to quit when I'm starting something. Like usually people start like all happy about it. I always start things like considering the amount of work I'm gonna go through. So I'm like
It's
very grumpy.
painful.
I'm
It's
like,
fucking
okay, let's
painful.
do this shit. Okay. And then I start doing it and it feels better and better. And when I finish it, I feel like, okay, it was much easier than I thought, or maybe not, or maybe it was way better than I thought and it took way longer than I thought. But it's just hard for me to start the motion. And it's painful. It's like I feel grumpy a lot. But then when it
Bro,
starts, I feel the opposite. I don't want to stop, you know. I wanna
and you
keep on going
procrastinate,
forever.
right? You
No,
procrastinate until you have like the pressure on yourself, like, Milan, where is the project? You know?
I complain about everything, you know, all the wrong things about it, all the things that could be different or better. And maybe it's just the body saying, I don't wanna do this. I wanna stay still. I wanna, because the body don't know shit, right? And then you start doing it, and the body's like, "Oh, I like it. I want to do more. I don't want to stop." And then you're like, "Okay, no, it's time to stop. It's all good. It's all done."
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like you're always tricking your mind, almost like there is a driver, a pilot, and there is the car, and you never know if you're the car or the driver.
Mm, totally. I like that analogy. There was a project that I already finished for a client, and it took me a little bit of time to 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 um to start it because of the same thing. Is that I was telling my girlfriend that I was scared. I was scared because I knew how painful it was going to be to create what I wanted to create, because I don't want to create shit. I want to create something really, 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 really good. You know, I don't want to create something that is not. Um, I don't know. I want to create big things. You know, not only like something shitty. My expectation of myself, of my art, of what I want to create, it's big. It's really big. So the fear of not being able to fulfill that expectation is what freezes me to start. For me, that's my first thing that I use to procrastinate. I'm afraid to fail and not fulfill the expectations of myself, because it's huge. What I expect from myself is huge. So sometimes I don't know, I just take time, and when I have the pressure on top, it's like, you cannot run, bro. You have to do it now. And then that's when the magic happens, because everything starts from, you don't think about it, you just do it, boom, boom, just do it. And that's the thing, just doing it. Like, for example, that's Nike, just do it, right?
And my computer is freezing because of Unreal. I need to. It's compiling shaders in the project. I'm gonna just ditch it. Otherwise,
Yeah, no. If you want,
Wait a minute.
you can. We can see it all day. No worries.
No, yeah. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you.
Just probably my video is freezing because of. Yeah, it's probably freezing because of Unreal, because it's compiling shaders on a super heavy project. I should have. I'm gonna quit it. Wait, quit. Stop, Unreal. I'm never gonna do this again. I need to compile shaders first before I open Unreal in the live with Mario. Okay, let me just end task. I love end task with Unreal. Works pretty well. Thank God. Man, it was like compiling shaders. It was like in 95, but it's too heavy to compile shaders in. It's like in a game, right? When you're compiling shaders in a game, your whole computer becomes
Freezes.
really like
Yeah.
laggy and stuff. Yeah. But never mind. I can show you later in Unreal the lens flare. but it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting the way it deals with that and how you can edit the blades, and you don't have like that much control about, let's say, how the sun is, if the sun has a star flare or spikes or anything. You don't have that much control, but because it's physically based, like following the rules of temperature and all,
Yeah,
it's very
exactly.
interesting.
So you cannot customize it so much.
Not like the source, not as much as sun. You can control size and stuff, but no like nice lens effects or lens flare, really.
Yeah.
Because lens flare is not only the one that comes from the sun, it's also like the little glare you have coming out of the highlights. But you cannot adjust that on the sun, but you can adjust the blades and the bokeh effect on the lens itself. Mario,
I need to try that.
I'm gonna show you later.
Yeah.
We've been talking for 1 hour and a half. It's been a pleasure talking to you in English, and I hope for the people that are listening, even if you don't understand English very well, I think it's a great exercise to be listening about the stuff we all like, but in a different language. I think that's the way. You have to train your ears, right, before you can actually speak it. But people want to speak it first. This Unreal is so crazy, man. I asked it to cancel, but it opened anyways. Oh
Oh my
no!
God.
Let me see if it works. Okay, Jesus. I shouldn't have done it. And it's rain.
I saw your face when I asked you. You were like, "Oh, really?"
Nah, because it's been a while since I don't open it. So okay, I changed it from path tracing to lumen. So now it should be fast. Let me try to present it.
Amazing.
Oh no. I'm afraid because I wasn't ready for it. Wait, this is Unreal, this one. Okay. Let me ask Lou to share the screen. Okay, let's open the scene. It's been a while since I don't play with Unreal. Although it's funny because now that we're doing more Unreal stuff, there are a lot of quotes in Unreal, man, from games and stuff. I don't know, like the clients. I don't know if it's word of mouth kind of a thing, because it feels like once you're trying something out, the client, it's almost like the clients know that you're doing, and they send you stuff like that. It's almost like you resonate. Whatever you want to create, you start resonating that, and people see it and they send you that. So I think that's great to change because it opens possibilities.
Bro, I really admire you guys that you guys did something for Riot and work with Valorant.
Oh, we've been working with Riot a lot, from Valorant to the new ones like 2XKO, it's coming, but also League of Legends.
Bro, it's
Valorant.
crazy. Like if they hired you, it's because you are like, you know, at the same size of quality of the art. Because for me, when I see Arcane, it's like, dude, this is the fucking best visual stuff I've seen in my entire life.
It is
the best.
I think it is. I think everybody agrees that Arcane is the most,
bro. Even though my girlfriend
crafted piece of animation ever.
bro, it's animation, cinematography, sound design, scoring, even though acting, bro. The animation, like the way they animate the acting of the characters to feel that they are so real. Bro, I cried so many times with so many scenes because you can feel it. You can feel the character, and doing it as an animator like that manually is not that easy. Right?
It is not, man. It is not. And I think that's the way things are going, man. I think you need to keep on you need to keep an eye open to the new stuff, and you need to try it out. If you don't try things out, you're gonna be that old guy, grumpy old guy saying that vinyl is better. And it is.
Yeah.
But you need to keep an eye open, man, to the new things, because
Bro,
even though, think about digital, right? People still shoot things in film, but digital became the standard. And in the beginning, like, it was a matter of, oh, this is never going to be the standard because it's never going to be better than film. But it's much easier to film, and it's way more affordable, not so expensive, not such a elite play. You know, now you can have like people filming with way less expensive cameras, and then you have more people doing it. If you have more people doing it, it's kind of better for the whole. It's not a matter of like what's best, but what's easier to do in the scale for most people.
yeah, that's the word easier. I think you answered the question about the what do we like, right? And that the answer is trying different things, and eventually you will find it. If I tell you how many things I try in my life, like different disciplines, since photography, 3D animation, VFX, drawing, painting, you know, sports, anything. It's like if you don't try something new, how you are gonna find what you like? But there's a really big fear about trying new things because it's gonna be fucking painful. Coding,
It is painful.
it is
It is
painful. Learning
annoying.
new software, it's painful, annoying, and it's uncomfortable.
And you feel
And
like you suck.
yeah, you will like you suck every day. It's normal. It's normal, man. Everyone feels it. Even though I admire so many big artists, and I've talked with them, and they tell me like they feel like they are shit, you know, because it is part of the human experience. Otherwise, you could feel arrogant and oh, I am the best in this, and no one fits in it.
I think even if you become so great in one thing, let's say in RPG language, you become an amazing GPS. You're a wizard. You can throw fireballs and ice rain, but then it becomes kind of boring, right? When you become really good at something, and then you're almost like repeating what you're good at instead of getting the high from learning it, and going
Yeah,
from nothing, going from suck to wow. Like you start feeling like you're have a deficit of something, or you're not good enough, and you question yourself. You think, oh, I'm not gonna make it, and then there's the whole drama on yourself, and then you overcome that thing and feel stronger, kind of like playing Elden Ring.
yeah,
I think if you don't have that struggle in the beginning to learn it, it's almost like not as enjoyable.
yeah. I think that is the thing. We struggle, and then we solve the problem, and that's what is enjoyable. And once you understand that when you solve the problem, it's gonna feel good. You now understand that you want to solve the problem and you want to go through the uncomfortable stuff because you know what is going to be on the other side, right? It's like exercise. if you know exercising is gonna make you feel good, you wanna feel good, you're gonna be on the process of uncomfortable until you get it, right? Because
And I
it's
think
worth it, always worth
I
it.
think when you learn one thing, let's say now you're a good DPS, you're a good wizard on the game, and then you want to be a tank, and then you start gathering your ammo and sword and stuff and shoot, and then you become a good tank as well. You're gonna end up trying to figure it out, like how it is to shoot some arrows from your you're gonna
Yeah,
try to learn a different thing, and because you went from a wizard to a tank, you're gonna feel that you can pull it off. You can try to work with your bow. I think there's a thing which is learning how to learn.
exactly. Learning how to learn. Once you
And
once you
you
once
get
you learn that,
ambitious, right? You're like, okay, now I know how to learn, so I can learn anything.
you can learn anything, bro. Anyone can learn anything because we have a brain. We can store the same amount of data, right? So you have to repeat it. Sometimes, probably, I mean, for me, man, it's focusing. Like when I am coding, if I try to focus, sometimes like it's hard. But once I get into the focus zone, it is a great momentum. But anyone can learn anything. Anyone. It's just a process. Like repeat.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this. It's gonna be slow with the live and everything. It's just too much for the computer. Well, 676 shaders.
676.
Should I kill it?
Holy
Should I
shit.
kill it? Let's see. I cannot even oh, it's so slow at the moment. And I have a 4090. You see how
but
Unreal
how many
using my
monitors do
whole
you have
GPU.
right now?
Oh, two 4K.
Okay, you have
55
to
inches.
you have to 4K and you're streaming, so the GPU is getting all the power from that.
And the camera is also 4K.
Imagine that, man.
But it's just compiling shaders. I feel that compiling shaders, there's no rule for the GPU. It's just like I'm gonna use it all. I'm gonna
I
just
don't give
use
a
it all.
fuck.
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look to the sky because the sky is lighter. When you
Yeah.
look to the sky, it's not thinking too much. There's not much to think. And then I put it on low, and I'm trying to make my viewport smaller, so it's not trying to render while it's compiling the shaders. I learned Unreal in the laptop, so I had to learn how to make more efficient, which is a good thing because
Yeah.
now that I have a 4090, I know a few tricks to make it not so heavy. I'm gonna wait, man. It's like 463. When it finishes, you're never gonna see this again. You compile shaders only once,
Yeah,
but when it's
exactly,
done,
exactly.
it's done,
It's fast
and it's gonna go fast as fuck. I mean, sorry, it's gonna go very fast
enough.
because yeah, it's Unreal does it like this. Like you it's almost like it's baking everything in a way, and so you can manipulate much faster. You see, even now, like
it's
when
getting faster
there's
now.
less shade, it's getting faster, but still a little slow. It's better to look to the sky and just let it let it render. Let me go.
Yeah,
unlit
because
so
the
it's
sky
even-
is only one texture, right?
yeah,
It is a cube
and
map or
this I think it's an HDR. Yeah, it's a cube map, but
because I saw that Unreal released a new system to build like real life
yeah,
clouds.
cloud.
Bro,
Yes.
volumetrics.
But this project was,
I mean, oh, man.
but that's 5.5. This here, I think it's still 5.3, I guess, or maybe 5.4. I forgot.
Have you used Emergent?
We did it just a little bit. It's it's interesting, works well with Unreal, but every time you take a VDB or whatever, a simulation volume from a different software, Houdini or Embergen, and you bring it to Unreal, you have to kind of rebuild the shaders, and it never looks the same. So,
Really?
yeah, well, we studied just a little bit. It's not something we dive in yet, but we try to solve still the problem between Houdini and Unreal. Try to get those two in the same page. Because
Nice.
with Houdini, there's no limitations. With Embergen, it's kind of like easier, but at the same time, kind of limited.
Makes sense.
Look how many shaders is
It's
preparing.
Wow.
Construction
Textures.
scripts, but always like what takes the most from the GPU, it's always the textures, man. The textures are the worst.
Because they are big,
You have
right?
24 gigs. You have
Dude.
24 gigs of video card, and then you're putting a lot of information in that 24 gigs, so much that my webcam it's freezing.
Because,
It's
bro,
not
it's
saving much to
crazy.
to
What I've
Windows
learned
even.
about that is that when it is doing that, I think it's like if it is a really big image, you have an array of pixels, right? So RGB, but imagine like multiplying 4,000 by 4,000, and then multiply that by 4 as well. So that's the amount of data that you have inside one texture. So you have to read that, and then you have to convert that into texture for OpenGL or anything. I don't know which technology is using Unreal to communicate with the GPU, but it has to convert that data to another type of data and communicate with the GPU, and then store it in the GPU. And building that can take a lot of time if you have so much textures, and then build the shaders and trying to render in real time right now at this moment as well, and trying to render all the pixels in your monitors. So it's so much power, man. I have a 3080 Ti, and it's powerful enough. But sometimes it's crazy how it gets so much watts from the socket that the GPU is like, it's like getting so much energy, and the brake and the brake, the no brake is switching like
The no break.
yeah, that is trying to switch off, like it's too much energy.
I'm changing the electric system in my home just because of the GPU. It's like because it wasn't too good, the system here. It was just for like old technology,
Yeah.
and for this new technology, the new computers, I needed to like split the first floor from the second floor of the place. So
Wow.
yeah, it's almost there. It's in 94. Is my voice okay, or I'm like cutting?
Yeah. You still sound good.
Yeah, it's just a video, you see, and this is very interesting, man. This is what I'm doing is like a crazy thing right now, because I have a 4K camera, 2 4K monitors. I'm live streaming while I'm compiling shaders of an extremely heavy project, and I think it could totally stream the video without freezing like it is right now, but I don't feel when it's compiling shaders or doing heavy stuff in Unreal, I don't feel Unreal is never limiting any space for Windows. So it's probably like putting it all in, and pretty much the whole video card right now, it's getting stuffed with this project. So then it's gonna be able to run smoothly. it's a different thinking, man. Usually you would have the files in your computer, and it would only do this when you hit render. But now it's almost like it's rendering first, and it takes ages, like a game. It's installing the game, but once it's done, it's so fast. It's faster than every other software. And it makes sense, right? Because when you're installing things, okay, it's gonna take ages, and people think, oh, Unreal is so slow, it's taking ages to compile shaders. But once it's done, you're never gonna compile that again unless you change versions. In this case, I did not have the file installed anymore in my computer, so then I had to compile shaders while doing the live session. So that's why I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna, let's see, because I didn't have any files saved in my computer, compile shaders already. I was there.
I'm excited. I'm really excited, actually.
98. It's just, have you seen it? This Cena project we did?
I saw a video, dude, I saw actually when you release this one. I saw it like 3 times or 4 times because I was like, wow, bro, this is all real. It's fucking crazy, man. Like,
it was kind of simple. I think it looks good because there is no much post-production. It's pretty much what you see out of the render. That's what it is. Let's go!
Yeah,
full speed. Whee! Look at the cube map, the simulation.
Wow. There you go. The dome.
But I want to use the new clouds from Unreal. It's gonna be so cool. And then lit. It's all black. Why? It's all black because there's no light in the scene. All the lights are in the scene, and you need to open the scene. Let me put this in Epic.
Okay.
If I vanish from the live, it might be because Unreal crashed.
I know. I will know why.
Yeah.
But that is smooth.
Yeah, this is just the scene, right? So in Unlit, you can see the level of detail. Some buildings are pretty shitty because they're not meant to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, they are like background only.
Yeah, but other buildings are more detailed. Depends on... we detail things to the camera. So
do you guys build like everything, like model everything, or you use...
Yeah.
You model everything?
Yeah.
What the I mean,
it's not that much.
I mean, yeah. But what I mean,
no, it's a lot. It's a lot. It was the hardest part of the project.
You build all the 3D models.
Oh, look at our guy.
There you go. Yeah. Character.
From the car to the character to the Monaco, everything. But what I want to show you is
how many people work on this project.
A lot, but yeah, a lot. But the core team was less than 10 people, the core team, but
all right.
A lot of people worked on it. Let me see, maybe... Oh, there's one that the lens flare is really nice. I think it's this one.
So once you have the scene, you only... okay, all right.
The scene is open. Like, there's no wait, you know? Once you compile shaders...
Oh, shit. Wow.
There is no wait. No wait any longer. And
what are those lines?
Those lines,
the yellow ones. Those ones.
This is an effect that it works only for the tunnel scenes. We have lines going around. I can show you later, but check this out. So this is Lumen. This is
real time.
Yeah, it is real time. It's 40 FPS. In the end, it gets a little slower because it's I'm live streaming and everything.
Yeah, but dude, you have motion blur, which is you don't know how expensive is motion blur.
I know, and you see, it's a very like a cheap version of motion blur in the viewport, but if you render it, it becomes much better. Okay. But this is Lumen, right? This is not path tracing. This is Lumen's real time Lumen, but then you can switch to path tracing just like any other software. So path tracing. And now it's path tracing.
Mm.
And you see a version of path tracing in real time.
Holy shit.
Very noisy, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
there. And if you pause it and let it render, you're gonna get the full render of that frame.
So it creates like a cache of every frame, and then you can play it.
You see?
Yeah.
No noise, not anything.
noise.
And this is the final frame. You're just seeing the frame rendering. Right
So when you
in front of
render
your
the
eye.
final frame, you render with path tracing?
In
Or
this
with-
case, yes, we did it, because if you switch to Lumen, well, you'd have to work on this to look like the other one, and it would require much more knowledge from the user to render something in real time that looks as good as path tracing. So path
Yeah.
tracing is like the easy way, right? Because
Right.
it's like,
I mean, it's more realistic, right?
and it's the same way as the as any other software, so offline software.
Yeah.
But then you could get to a result that is very similar to this, very, very similar to this in Lumen, but it requires much more knowledge.
I love it. It looks very cinematic, bro. I mean, even though it has already color grading, right?
It does, it does have a color grading. I made it in right here, right on the tab right here. Let me show you. Let me make this window a little bigger. I'm gonna show you the lens flare. Oh, this is the problem. You see, when you make the window bigger. Oh, it crashed on me.
Oh shit! I saw that.
It crashed on me because I was
No.
in path tracing, making the window big. But no worries, because now, because I compiled the shaders already,
But even though if it is
Ish.
closed.
it doesn't matter. Like, it's gonna open very quickly.
Okay, wait a second. I'm gonna go to the bottom quickly. Wait a second.
Ok. Então, para quem não sabe o que tá acontecendo e não tá pegando toda a informação em inglês, a gente tá compartilhando a tela em 4K enquanto faz a live, abrindo uma cena mega pesada no Reel. O que aconteceu? Crashou. Mas agora que compilou os shaders, que é uma coisa que demora pra caramba pra fazer, depois que você compila, pode crashar à vontade, porque também abre na mesma velocidade que crashou. O nosso convidado foi ao banheiro. Já a gente acaba a live, mas quero mostrar pra ele os efeitinhos de lens flare no Unreal. Porque o Mário é o cara que faz lens flare no 2D. E ele coda programas de VFX. O cara é um crânio. O cara vai de uma coisa muito simples até algo muito complexo para atingir os efeitos que ele espera. E ele programa, né? Muito interessante isso. Um artista que programa. Sorry, you're back. Okay, I have it again. I'm not gonna make the window bigger. See, those are like there are things you can do in Unreal when it's path tracing on a big screen, and then you make the window bigger. You're recalculating that render you have right in front of you, and it's just requiring too much of the GPU. But let's go. Now
So I have a question. What do you see as I mean, there's tons of it, but what do you think they are like the main advantages of using Unreal instead of using
the
for
workflow.
example, Blender?
It's the workflow.
Okay.
It's not the render, it's the workflow.
The workflow.
Well-
it's faster, or
You can think about it as
do the textures? What the fuck?
you
That
can
is
think about
MetaHuman?
yeah.
Wow.
You can think about it as still render, right? But it's the render while you're walking. It's not the final render. It's seeing stuff very quickly, so you can like change on the fly. You can craft it. Let me show you. I need to open the map.
But that's the thing. What I've learned about doing image processing software is like that. You need like a really, really good and fast preview. It doesn't have to be like the final preview,
Exactly.
but it is good enough looking and fast enough, it is perfect for us as a user to use the software.
Path
You know?
tracing is very noisy in the viewport, but still, you can see a path trace preview very quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't need to be perfect, but it's
Yeah.
getting there. It's I think path tracing is gonna be in real time pretty soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, like doing it, like the amount of calculations to do path tracing it's insane, and remove the noise. It is, I mean, it could be impossible, but you have to use like denoisers on top to make it faster.
It's all GPU based, right? I think it's almost like AI splatter, AI the AI cloud. You know, it's making a cloud of information very very noisy, but it's using machine learning to clean all that
Yeah,
and
exactly.
to give you a cleaner preview.
Yes.
Also, like image scaling, I think it renders very small, very noisy, and then it tries to clean it.
They do that a lot in video
The
games.
workflow is amazing.
They render it in 1080p and then scale it to 4K with an algorithm, and it's faster than rendering all the way into 4K.
Exactly. Let me see if I can open oh yeah, preparing tag. Oh, the water is animated. I forgot. Why? I would never see the water, but it is animated. Let me open again. I was seeing just to show the lens.
How much
flare.
time did you guys spend doing this project, like from start to finish?
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
Like from modeling everything and just setting up everything.
From zero to everything. From like not having the model of the car, of the character.
Dude, that's crazy.
To everything. Okay, I'm not gonna try to do any fancy stuff. Just gonna show the lens flare. Okay. So at the moment, I have a very soft sun because I chose to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have a strong lens flare, but let's say I do. I'm gonna open. Wait, need more space here and there. I'm gonna open my lighting folder. I have like camera, just standard lighting, HR backdrop. Oh, okay, where is it? Okay. BP lighting child. This guy it has everything in it. It has the sun, directional light. It has exponential fog, which is the atmosphere, the sky atmosphere, and post-processing, and the skylight. Post-processing is very interesting because
it's all the grading.
Everything is almost post-processing, right? So lens, bloom, and then it can control the bloom. Let's go path tracing, just because it's prettier.
I want to see the bloom in action.
You see, I have an asset for
evolution kernel
for the bloom. It's just an image that I made to drive the highlights. So when there's a highlight, okay, it's render scene using path tracing. Go, please go. Come on, it's just path tracing. Why so slow? Just because I'm live streaming.
Well, even though, I mean, right now I'm getting excited and I want to download Unreal, and it is free, right?
It is still free.
How do these guys earn income from this if it is total?
Now they are charging licenses if you're not in the game industry, only if you make $1 million in the business or something like this.
Yeah.
So like BP, so you can still use it for a long time for free and just pay once you make profit, pretty much.
Wow, that's good.
Wait. Here. Where's my... Just because everything is so small. Where's my property tab? Window. Outliner, visual. Where is it? I had details. Where's my... No, this is the detail. Outliner. I'm searching for. I think it's just small right here. I was right there on the post-production. Where is it right now? I think it's stuck somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna mess around right here. So I have all my controls. Oh, I think, is it gonna crash again? Because I made the window wider. Oh, I'm gonna just switch off the path tracer just because it's too heavy. So you see, here's the directional light and all the things that I have here. I can animate. I can say the sun starts in one place and then it ends in another place. I'm animating the light or the fog. See, the fog density. I can go very high and have a lot of fog in the room, and that's gonna change the lens flare. That's what I mean, you know, like when you have fog, the flare is gonna change. It's gonna
bro, I like that.
Behave physically. And then let's go post-production. Okay, post-production, you have the classic bloom. You can make things bloom more with your you see, this is the texture I have on the lens. If I have too much bloom, it's gonna show the texture on the lens too much. I don't want that. I want just a little bit.
The optical flares uses the.
Yeah, and that's gonna show more in the highlight place. Also, I have this Firestar. I just made this.
That's just a PNG, right? Like a JPEG.
It's just a simple PNG that is driving how the effect's gonna work. So when let's say when there's a very bright spot, that thing's gonna influence the light around it. And then, like I mentioned, you have exposure, and then it's processing. You see how it processes so nice. Like I really like it.
Yeah,
I really like it. Whee!
Nice.
You can animate the exposure. It's very cool for post-production. Chromatic aberration, and then dirt mask, which is that thing that I showed, the dirt on the lens. And then you have lens flare. Okay, so lens flare. So this is the lens flare. If I make it very strong, let's try to make something realistic. And then I have this texture on it. And that's the only one. That's the only one. And then it's making like doubles of it.
Bokeh shape. So it's like, for example, you're telling Real that I'm shooting with a 50mm lens that has many, I don't know, 12 glasses in it, and it will be the bokeh based on those 12 glasses.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. And you see the fog?
Yeah, I love that, man.
And it's nothing heavy on the machine. It works amazingly well. Any other software that will be very heavy to render on screen with depth of field apply. And then let's go back to the shot. Okay, there's the lens flare, and then you have all the film effects, color grading, temperature, global saturation. You can adjust almost like a selective color in midtones, highlights, and everything is getting better and better. In 5.5, it's looking like DaVinci already. You can control the bounces in path tracing. And this was 5.3 or 4, I think. I don't remember anymore. And now with 5.5, you can have videos to light your scene. You can have a video, and that video is the light of your scene.
Oh, wait. I saw a video in YouTube that they have so many light sources and they just click on the checkbox.
Yeah, man.
It's like a multi-lighting or something called like that.
And it's not heavy in the video card.
Yeah,
it's very fast. And then it's applying the changes. You see. So you see how the light, it's very exaggerated, but just to
but I mean, I like it. It looks like it is being.
And then
recorded.
if you think, it looked good in the still frame, but on the play I don't like it, so I want to make the dirt mask not so strong.
Wow.
But the video still playing, and I'm doing adjustments
That is in real time.
to a video. You know what I mean about the workflow?
Yeah.
I don't have nothing like this in any other software. Nothing that comes any
The
close to
experience that you're playing the
I'm
timeline and you can
See,
change in
I'm
real time.
changing the bokeh, the size of the bokeh. So very, I'm gonna take the dirt out so you only see the flare. So you see how it's not the same as, it's not the same. It's a different formula.
Yeah.
It's not faking it the same way as in red giant on optical flare. It's different. And then you have the threshold. If you want a lot, you come on the lens, or less.
Mm.
And this is just a preview. Once you, and this is lumen, right? This is it's a little faster. Let me go epic, light, go back to path tracing.
Epic and cinematic, they're different, right? So
yeah, exactly. Just put in epic just to go faster. But then you have a video rendering path tracing, very noisy, but still.
But it's still in real time, though.
It's still in real time, and you can change things in real time. And let's say I want to have 10 of fog. Now it's very foggy. Super foggy. Let's go. I think I'm animating this fog. Let's go 5. Because every time you create new nodes, I put it to go automatic. I'll go 5 here.
Out of frame.
But then in the end of the frame is gonna be 1. No, 1 is still too much. Just 0.1. Okay. And now it's very foggy in the beginning, but then the fog stops in the end. And see how that changes the whole thing. It looks completely different.
I like the lens flare is being it works like in synergy with the fog, you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They are interacting with each other, and now there's a lot of fog.
That looks like Silent Hill, bro.
Silent Hill, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
look
shit.
at that.
Dude,
Look at that.
Epic. That is epic.
You understand what I mean about the workflow, and I'm just like doing shit around. I'm just changing sliders.
You could put some
literally
rain
changing
on it
sliders, and it changes the whole thing. And you can animate that. You can do, it's like post-production for video, but in 3D, and you can have a value in the beginning and another value in the end, and it's a different type of power to the post-producers.
Yeah.
It's so much better. I cannot even start to express, and I'm experiencing this. It's been like 5 years of going deep into Unreal, and now we finally are getting Unreal campaigns that it's gonna change our pipeline forever. I mean, we still do Maya, still do Blender, do Houdini, but this is different. This is different. Man, this is very different.
Bro,
this is like what I imagine AI is going to be in the future. Imagine when AI and real-time technology, Unreal or whatever, they marry to each other, and then you're gonna have way faster renders. You're gonna see it. There's not gonna be any noise.
Yeah,
you're not gonna see any noise.
Exactly.
You're gonna see a real-time scene rendering real time, no noise, and that'll be your final render. You're not gonna be rendering anymore. It is what it is. You're gonna get the scene, and you can change the camera, change anything, and it's still real time. And look at that. Now that I've seen it, like, I wish I could have done it more like cloudy now.
Yeah, that looks epic, man. That
does. Like, and you know what? Like, we could render the whole movie in like a day, like 2 minutes in a day. If you don't want it too much quality, you could render a version of it in like an hour, 2 minutes in an hour, and eventually it's gonna be you have 2 minutes of a film, it's gonna take 2 minutes to render, or maybe not even that.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? Like I'm in love with this
Totally.
shit, man. I'm in love with this shit. It's like for me
Dude.
as a photographer, post producer.
I am going to download today Unreal, bro. Because I like for real.
I had this effect on people because I think that I liked so much, and people are like, I need to download this shit as well.
Dude, I'm gonna start playing around with this shit.
It's fucking amazing, man. And thinking that you know that this is not talking about post production anymore, but just the system.
Yeah.
This system is a little game. Is
Yeah,
a
it's
game.
a small game, exactly.
It is a small game because the car, it's not animated. The car was driven by a person.
Jorge says he just
The drive was the pilot was driving a video game racing wheel,
Wow.
and that's the animation. Okay. Enough with Unreal.
You should make this a video game.
But there are really good video games of F1. There is one called
Yeah, I know, but just for fun, you know. Even though they're like fuck it if it already exists, you know. If you like it, if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter if it already exists. Don't think
I want it.
about it.
I would really love to do a game that is like it's a Senna game, you know. Imagine that, and Senna is the hero, right? So you drive different cars that Senna drove in his life, and that's like a adventure kind of game, not like a simulation, but more like a Need for Speed kind of look, you know, with rain and reflections and make it pop, you know, not so
like visually striking.
Realistic. We have amazing game simulations, but I have never seen any game, F1 game, that feels like the same. All F1 games are very hard, and you need to understand about driving before you drive it. But imagine if it could be more like Need for Speed, more like fun to drive.
With a good storytelling, right?
That could be a cool idea. Good soundtrack too. Just rushing over
you know,
Alain Prost and Schumacher. Even Schumacher was a baby.
I like that a lot. Like all the sound design and scoring. I do that like in my free time. I do it like as a hobby. I don't know if I told you, but I'm a musician, like a hobby musician. So
I know.
I like to do scoring and
artist and coder. You're connecting all the dots.
Yeah, man. I need to somehow canalize this energy into something, you know. Otherwise, I'd get crazy. But yeah, I mean, my project, this Composite Nation, all the software is like something that gives me that opportunity to mix everything into it. When I do the trailers and everything, I do my music and do the editing, I do the marketing, to put everything into one, and I enjoy that process a lot, you know.
Felipe is asking if you can achieve the same kind of speed in other softwares that you get in Unreal. If you can, dá para conseguir esse mesmo desempenho com projetos e arquivos de outros programas dentro da cena Unreal. Você diz trazer assets, bring assets from other softwares to Unreal and have the same kind of speed. If it is Unreal, yes, I think so. Yeah, for sure. You can bring stuff from Houdini, Embergen, Maya, Blender, 3ds Max. Anything, you can bring it over, but you have to learn the ways of Unreal. Jorge is saying he just downloaded. I just downloaded it on Unreal.
Jorge is a really good friend of mine.
I know. I remember him.
You remember? Yeah.
I remember Jorge. And Evan G is asking if this live is gonna be saved, and the answer is yes. Mario, I have to thank you, man, for I told you it was just 1 hour chat, but it's been 2 hours
Yeah,
or 2 hours
I mean, I
plus.
knew it, bro. I knew it, and I
I
enjoyed
knew
it
it.
so
I
much.
knew it as
You
well.
know,
But like we went deep from the guts of AI coding, and then to philosophy, and then to finally Unreal and the state of coding of 2024. Man, thank you so much for this conversation. I really like this part of my job, and I hope to have this chat with you again, if not over the computer, live chat. I mean, live, and maybe we can see each other one day in Rio or maybe in Mexico.
bro.
Are you
Definitely.
staying in Mexico still?
Yeah, man. I'm still
Awesome.
here, and you have your house here if you want, whenever you want.
I'm gonna claim that. Okay.
The food is really good, man.
I heard of. Well, I eat Mexican food in Brazil a lot. Yeah, I really like. I know it's not the same, but it's similar. But man, thank you so much. I will let you say your final notes,
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. I really enjoy it, and it was great to see you again. As I told you, like it's like I saw it yesterday. Like if we never stopped seeing each other, you know?
I remember like saying bye to you in at the hotel, and you were like, "Man, we have to do this again." And then
Yeah.
pandemic 5 years later, and
Have you
we
done?
survived it. We survived it, man.
What we survived? If the zombies comes, we know how to manage that now. Do you still use doing the UNHIDE conference, or is not?
Well, that's a big thing, right, for us, because we stopped because of the pandemic, and also we need to find ways to be viable to do it again. And
Yeah. It was a great.
but it's something we
event.
really enjoyed it. It was very special for us, and definitely want to do it again. When it's gonna happen, destiny will tell. I don't know, but I hope it happens soon. But I don't know. I really don't.
I remember the intro, the animation intro. Bro, it was like all the screen, like this huge screen, and the mermaid.
Do you remember those animations, like for 2018 and 2019?
Bro,
Those animations were the first big animations we created ever, and since then we've been doing mostly animations.
wow.
And you know, like, again, like, what do you like? That's the question, right? What do you want to do with your time? And back in the day, we wanted to do animation, and now we do it. But was it easy? Definitely not.
No.
But it's totally worth it.
Wow,
Just
man.
follow the things you like. Follow your gut, right? The gut feeling. What is your gut telling you? Where does he want it to go? Just listen to that soft voice inside you,
Exactly.
and believe yourself, and just do it. It's easy to say, very hard to do.
But I mean, at least you know it. You know the formula, right?
If you know it's painful and you're gonna feel pain in a way, you're ready.
Yes, exactly.
You're ready. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're scared, that's the way.
Marathons are painful. Doing anything moving is painful, but
Bro.
it's way better than not doing it.
Totally, man. My two brothers, they do a lot of hiking, but not like normal hiking. They do like mountain hiking, like
Awesome.
fucking Everest base camp, and you know, these Peru mountains, big mountains, and Ecuador and Guatemala, big mountains, like really big mountains. And I admire them because I know it's painful. I have done it here in Mexico in some mountains, and it's painful. The process, like, oh, I'm gonna die. I don't want to do this anymore, and you want to quit, but you keep on going. You know, it's something, a voice inside yourself, like, keep on going. that happens to me every day. That
Your
I
body screaming like, I want to
is
be
screaming.
comfortable, and your mind, I want to be better. I want to
Yes,
be
exactly.
stronger.
No,
And your
we can
body's
do
like,
this.
I just want popcorn and watch movies. And your mind's like, you can do better.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I really like watch movies and popcorn. But then if you overcome that feeling, you
You feel
become
stronger.
way stronger. And it's like a muscle.
Yeah, you
It's like a
become
muscle.
strong, mentally stronger, emotionally stronger,
You
and
you
it
you need
worth
to
everything.
force your brain to do things that you don't want to do.
Definitely.
Because if you could be the director of your life, you would write things down that maybe you don't want to do it, but you at the same time you want it. Like, you don't feel like you want it, but you know you like it.
Yeah.
But you know it's gonna be painful, but it's worth it in the end, and better do it than regret not doing it, I think.
Totally agree. Totally
I don't
agree.
know. I don't think anybody really knows. We're just figuring it out.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it.
I think learning things are very, very cool, and starting over, learning something that you don't know anything about it. It's really, really cool. I'm very addicted to it, and if I don't want to
Same.
stop, I don't want to stop doing that. It's very cool and enriching, and it makes me feel younger in a way. Yeah.
You never stop learning.
Well, maybe one day you get tired of it and you're like, I'm done. I know everything that I wanted to learn, and that's it. And then you die.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's the time that you die, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm happy with the
Okay.
experience. You can shut it off.
Yeah, exactly. And then like,
And then you wake up, and then
in
fuck, I
Unreal,
want to
like,
do it again.
holy shit, yeah.
I want to go again. Awesome, man.
Wow.
But Mario, really like talking to you, man. This was a long chat, but I hope the folks appreciate it, and see you again in the next live.
Yeah, thank you, man, for having me. And it was a pleasure to see you again as well. And yeah, as you said, it was a really deep conversation, and I enjoyed it so much.
I knew you would go down there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, man. I'm pretty happy because I not only have a really good time with you, but I feel inspired to do other things and encourage myself to do, bigger things and try Unreal and play more video games actually as well. So enjoy life more, like, I mean, I enjoy life, but I'm a workaholic. I need time more for,
You have to enjoy life as well, because there is a game outside running, and if you only try to, be looking to your screen all the time, you're just missing the bigger game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is also part of life, right?
Yeah,
Creating
exactly.
new things, and you don't create things like outside of your garage. You create things at home, and creativity is a very addictive thing, like you mentioned. Dopamine. You get addicted to creativity, and I think it's for people like artists, there's no other way.
Yeah, totally agree.
Leave it with that. Sleep on it. Talk soon, man. It was a pleasure talking to you, and having this, for me, very interesting conversation. I hope for the folks listening to us on the second screen, it was a nice conversation as well.
Thank you, brother. The pleasure is mine as well. We should take a small screenshot just to put it in Facebook.
Do it.
Wait. Let me. Okay, wait. 1, 2. There you go. It is? Oh, wait. What? Oh, it got stuck. Wait.
I can do it.
Wait. Let me see if it copies
Pause
the
it.
clipboard. No. Okay. Again.
Pause it.
Okay.
I can do it.
Okay, wait. 1, 2.
I got it.
Okay.
I
perfect.
got it. I'm gonna send you right now.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, brother.
Tchau, tchau. Tchau, tchau, galera.
See you
Tchau, tchau,
later,
Mário.
alligator. Tchau, tchau, galera. Muito bom. Muito
Tchau,
foda.
tchau. Adorei. Valeu, mano. Grande abraço.
Cara.